Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm going to give everyone a few minutes to get in. It got kind of chilly here, so I put my jacket on. Hello. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. Today, I am going to be talking about sleep conditioning, some tips about sleep conditioning. I've had several new moms ask me about my baby's not sleeping. What do I need to do? How can you help me with sleep? So today I am going to give you some sleep conditioning tips. And I say sleep conditioning because sleep training is totally different than sleep conditioning. I am not there to guide you, so I'm going to give you some tips that you can do on your own. First, it starts with a bedtime routine or a nap time routine. And if you are talking to your child and letting them know ahead of time, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go take a bath, we're going to read some books, and then we're going to sing a song, and then it's going to be time to go night. Every day, every time you go for a nap or when you go for bedtime at night, if you create a routine so that your child will know and be more willing to go and take a nap. This includes babies too. Although you think your baby is too young to understand what you're talking about, your baby understands. Trust me. It's also when you talk to them and let them know what's going to happen, there's a transition that goes on in their head that says, we're going to bed soon. Babies learn by routine. If you've ever had a child in daycare, they know I eat lunch, I take a nap, I go outside and play, and then mom and daddy come. They get into that routine because they know after these things happen, this is what's going to happen. So if you get your child into a routine, a bedtime or nap time routine, it is so much better for them because they know what's going to happen next. I'm going to take my bath, I'm going to read some books, I'm going to sing a song, and then I'm going to bed. But let them know, start talking about it 30 to 40 minutes ahead of time. Let them know, get their brains honing in on bedtime. Because if you all of a sudden say, okay, it's bedtime, your child is going to resist. They're going to scream, they're going to yell, they're going to give you all kinds of fits because they weren't ready. But if you talk to them, let them know what's going on. I like to call it what it's called forecasting. So they know what's going to happen. If they know what's going to happen, it kind of puts it in their mind that this is going to happen. And yes, I'm not saying that they will not resist, but it's probably going to be easier for them to say, when you tell them, okay, remember we said you have 5 minutes till bath time till we start our bedtime routine. If you give them time for their brains to adjust, they are more willing to do what you ask them to do. But if you just go and, it's just like you're eating dinner and you're hungry and somebody's like, okay, time's up, and they snatch your plate. You're going to be upset. You're going to be mad because you were eating and you loved what you were eating and you just came and snatched it out from under me. Well, children are the same way. We know how to express our feelings through words. Children express their words through crying and whining and temper tantrums. So in order to help avoid that, get a bedtime routine. Start talking to them early about what's getting ready to happen so they can get in their mind to transition. Also, music helps. I use music therapy with my children. When we are playing, we have fun music and jazz and pop music playing. When we are eating, Classical music is playing. It's quiet. It's relaxing. When we're getting ready to go to bed, I dim the lights. That's a trigger to the brain that something's happening. It's getting ready to be bedtime. So if you have a dimmer in your house, dim the lights a little bit. Turn on some quiet music, some lullabies. That triggers the brain to calm down. We're getting ready to go and start our bedtime routine. That helps. Do this for, have one routine for nap time and one routine for bedtime. If you don't give your child a bath every night, take the time to talk to them while you put on their pajamas and ask them what books they want to read. Let them pick out the books that they want to read. Give them a number, because your child will want to read just one more book, just one more book, just one more book. Every time it's just one more book. Oh, I want some water, or I need to go potty, or I need to do this, I need to do that. Your child is going to continue the process of holding out as long as they can before bedtime. So try giving them a limit and say, okay, tonight only, just one more book. And once we finish this book, we are going to bed. Be clear, talk in a calm, cool voice, but be clear about your expectations from your child, including your babies. Babies understand. Trust me, they do. Okay, so once you have established a bedtime routine, let's set the environment for relaxation. Let's set the environment for resting, for sleep, for good sleep. That means a dark room without lights all over the place. I know you like to stick that cute little night light in there, and it is so cute. Yes, you can put it in there during the daytime, but at night it needs to be dark, because if you need to go in there for anything and that night light is on and they can see your shadow, they know you're in there and they're gonna get you. And I mean, they will cry. They will give you the puppy dog eyes. They'll do that quivering lip. That thing, yeah, they do everything they can to get your attention and come pick me up. And nighttime is over. So make sure if there's anything in your child's room that you need, make sure you take it out before you put them to bed. Now, in order to have a peaceful and restful environment, if you need a light, I suggest one of my favorite things is the Hatch. It's called Hatch Baby. It comes with an app, and it has, you can change the lights, you can program it. It goes from infancy all the way up to until they're grown. It has 12 different sounds on there. It has the running water. It has like a rain. It has the dryer tumbling. It has wind. It has the ocean waves. It has just white noise. Hold on, I have a question. I'm not a mom yet, but hopefully soon. I'm saving all your videos. Well, thank you. So you need to have, I like the Hatch because it is programmable. When they get older, thank you so much. You have wonderful recommendations. Thank you. When they get older, you can program it to where if it's bedtime and you don't want them to get out of bed, you can put on a red light at night and then program it. If they can get up out of the bed at 7:30, program it for 7:30 a.m. to turn green. Play the red light, green light. Young toddlers understand that. Play the red light, green light. If it's red, you can't get out of bed. If it's green, you're good to go. They can get up out of bed and they can come and see wherever you are. So play the red light, green light. It's programmable, and as long as it's red, they know they need to stay in bed. When it turns green, they know they can get up and roam about freely. So it gives you time to get a shower, drink some coffee, comb your hair, brush your teeth, whatever. If you set that timer and they know when the light turns green, I can go. You can also set the noise level. It can go from 0 all the way up to 100 decibels. You don't want to put it at 100. But having a sound machine in your child's room is, it blocks out the noise. I'm not telling you to be quiet while your child is sleeping, but it blocks out the outside, helps to block out the outside noise. I'm on number 2, and why haven't I thought of that? That's so smart. Well, that's why I'm here, to help. But the sound machine is to help to block out the noise outside of the room. And because you can walk by, and the reason I say don't be quiet is because your child is not going to be in their room sleeping every time they go to sleep. If you go on vacation, if they go to preschool, if they go to grandma's house, wherever it is they're going, they need to hear regular noises. I'm not saying go beat the pots and pans, but talk in your normal voice, so that, yes, they will hear you talking, but they can sleep through it. They can hear you outside of their room, but they'll sleep through it, especially if you have pets and they bark or they meow or whatever they do, they chirp. Those noises, they can hear those noises, but it's good to know that they can sleep through it. So have the sound machine so it masks the noises outside of the room, but the sound machine is for them and for you. It masks the noises outside of the room, but it also helps them to sleep better. It stills the mind. Hold on, I almost missed a message. I love your practical solutions and advice. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. So if you're watching this, send a message, share this with your friends, new moms, anyone that you think can use this information. Please share this with them so that they can get this information. I will reshare this video again, but like I said, right now, share so they can catch it live. Also, once you get the sound machine, the programmable sound machine, I like the Hatch Baby. That's just my preference. A lot of the parents that I work with they ask me, which one do you prefer? I prefer the Hatch Baby because I can turn on the light, because it has an app, because if I'm outside of the room and I know that we're getting ready to start our bedtime routine, I can hit the app, turn on the sound machine, turn it up, down, low, so they know that familiar sound. That's my sleep sound. The sleep sound is on. So if the sleep sound is on, it triggers the mind and says, it's almost time to go to sleep. Put the quiet music on, the lullaby, and the sleep sound music, the sleep sound machine in the background while you're taking a bath, while you're reading the books. Just have it kind of playing low. And then as you get ready to, sing that last song, kind of talk to your child, get all your cuddles and snuggles out, and turn the sound machine, gradually turn the music down and turn the sound machine up. Because you don't want, I know a lot of people listen to music when they go to sleep. But if that song is familiar to your child, if they're anything like me, I'll end up waking up and singing the song because I know the song. And it wakes me up because that's one of my favorite songs, and I sing it all day long, and we did it at playtime, and we did it at this time. So it wakes them up and puts them in a different mood instead of sleeping. Even the lullabies, they have taken lullabies now, the pop songs, and they've made them into lullabies. But if your child knows that song, they're going to wake up singing that song. So in order to avoid that, turn the music down, or off rather, and turn the sound machine up because it's a constant, steady sound. There is no music. There is no song to remember. There is nothing to trigger the mind to, hello, hello, Germany. How are you? Hello from, I should say, hello from Texas, Germany, from the United States. But those things need to happen so the brain can get in relax mode. So put your child in relax mode. When you turn that music off, turn that sound machine on, trigger that brain, eyes start falling asleep. And another thing, put your baby down while they're drowsy. When you're starting to put them to sleep, put them down when they're drowsy, put them in their crib, and put them down when they're drowsy so they can fall asleep on their own. The more you do that and let them fall asleep on their own, the closer you get to just saying, okay, it's bedtime routine. They will go in there and, okay. Well, thank you for following me, Dixie. Thank you. So the more you do that and more consistent you are putting your child down drowsy and letting them go to sleep, the closer you get to just going in, putting the sleep sack on or the swaddle on and say good night, get your hugs, your kisses, and you put them down and they're awake and they will self-soothe and go to sleep. Now, we're going to talk about room darkening curtains. You need a dark room. Now, I'm not saying pitch black, but you need a dark room because I know, like I said, your child's not going to always be in their room sleeping. So they need to be able to sleep in different atmospheres. I don't want you to feel trapped inside of your home. Thank you. I'm fine. How are you? I love your TikTok channel. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm doing well. I'm just here to share some knowledge about sleeping because I had so many questions about sleeping. Now, the room darkening curtains. It helps to block out the light because any little, like I said before, even with the little night lights, if there's a sliver of light coming through the curtain, the sun changes positions. And as the sun changes positions during nap time, that little sliver of light can come straight across your baby's face. And that light, if you close your eyes, you can tell when the light is on and when the light is off. And if the light is on, you know your child. Oh, it's time to get up. Yeah, the light's on. No, it's just light coming through the curtain. So get you some room darkening curtains and try to make the room as dark as possible. Also, when you go in to get your baby, if they wake up crying, leave your phone behind or turn it off because the blue light from your phone breaks the melatonin. And that's why I said, if you're going to have a light, get a red light. The red light does not break the melatonin. And if you don't know, melatonin has a lot to do with sleep. It puts your baby to sleep. Also, breastfeeding moms, your breast milk has melatonin in it. Your baby's saliva speaks to your breasts and tells them what they need. In the evening time, any of your evening milk, especially if you're freezing it, any of your evening milk, when your baby, your baby is sleepy, your body produces melatonin through your milk to give to your baby to help it to sleep. Just saying. Now, if you're freezing this milk, if your baby doesn't drink all the milk and you pump, write on that milk, nighttime milk, so that you will give your baby that milk. When you unthaw it, you give your baby that milk at night to help it to sleep. Because if you give that baby a melatonin milk during the day, it's going to help the baby to sleep. Now, unless of course you want your baby to sleep, but it has melatonin in it, so it will help you to sleep. Now, the red light, as I said, it doesn't break that cycle. And what you want, the reason your baby wakes up in the middle of the night is breaking cycles. Babies, infants, newborns, they need to be woken up in the middle of the night. I know you don't want to hear this, but they need to wake up and eat at least every 3 hours. It's part of their nutrition. It's part of them gaining weight. It's part of them holding on to their body temperature, because that fat helps them to hold on to their body temperature, and so they won't get sick. So every 3 hours in the middle of the night, yes, wake them up. And they're going to be cluster feeding. When they're first born, they cluster feed. So feed on demand. I would suggest trying to start a schedule, somewhat of a schedule, around 4 weeks. So by the time you get to 6 to 8 weeks, that's the window where you catch that baby, and they will start sleeping longer through the night. But you have to let them self-soothe. Okay, somebody said something. Hold on. I missed it. Nope. No, I didn't. Sorry. You have to let them self-soothe. Now, when I say self-soothe, when you put your baby down drowsy, they might go, let them work through it. Because if they're drowsy, they'll squirm and be like this, and the next thing you know, they're asleep. But if you go back and pick them up, it startles them. And sometimes they will cry because you startled them, and that wakes them up. And then you start that process all over again. So let them whine a little bit. Now, if they're full on in a cry, pick them up, take care of their needs. But if they're just, let them lay there, stay in the room with them, stay out of their sight, so that they can go to sleep without knowing you are hovering over them. Stay in the room with them, out of sight if possible, and let them work through it. If they get used to working through that and putting themselves to sleep, self-soothing and putting themselves to sleep, it gets that window gets wider and wider. And that's why I was saying, first time mom hear any advice. Yes, I am advising on sleeping routines, sleep conditioning, because there's a difference between sleep conditioning and sleep training. We're talking about sleep conditioning, getting the room prepared for your child. The crib, no toys, no blankets. A mobile, if you have a mobile on your bed, on the baby's bed, that needs to go as soon as they start rolling over and reaching for things. Because if they start reaching for things, they can shake the crib, and the mobile can fall on them. So as soon as they start rolling over and grasping things, it's time for the mobile to go. Because the last thing you need is in the middle of the night, your child wake up and grab and shake, and it falls and hurts them. Because that's a long process. Even though it may not physically hurt them, it traumatizes them, and they won't want to go to the crib anymore, because that becomes not a safe place to sleep, but that becomes a place of turmoil and torture. So if you have a mobile in your crib, just know when they start to roll over and when they start to grab, take it out. Also, bumpers on the crib. Please don't do it. Even the mesh ones that are supposed to be breathable are still unsafe because they sag. And if they sag, that the mesh material becomes less breathable. And if your child rolls over and their head is up against it, and they can't, and that it has meshed together the mesh is folded over on each other, it's still not safe because the baby can smother. And babies are not agile enough to just kind of flip over. If they can't breathe, it's taking oxygen from the brain is not thinking roll over, roll over. So don't put it in there. Just don't put it in there because it is not safe. 5 months old, don't nap more than 15 minutes a day. Wow. Is your baby on a schedule? If she's 5 months old, he or she is 5 months old, are they on a schedule? Do you have them on any type of schedule? Because that helps with nap time. And it depends on if you have a colicky baby or if they have gas or what kind of special needs they have. Are they a high sensitivity child? So I can't answer your question because there's so much background information that I would need about your child in order to talk to you about your particular situation. No, she's not on a schedule. Okay, so do me a favor and message me. When I get off live, do me a favor and send me a message, and we will talk about a schedule for your 5-month-old. Because if she's not on a schedule would help her to, in increments, she'll know. And this is what I was talking about getting your child on a schedule. What's done during the day directly affects nighttime. So if you're not sleeping during the day, and people say, oh, don't let her sleep too long, don't let her sleep too long. Sleep begets sleep. So depending on the age of your child as to how much sleep they need. At 5 months old, she's probably transitioning. She should be transitioning from 4 naps to 3 naps. And right around 6 to 7 months, they should be transitioning from 3 naps down to 2. So I don't know how close your child is to 6 months, but send me a private message and we'll talk about that. Okay, my son is a week old and he flips to his tummy on his own, but his PD said no to that. What do I do? There is is your child swaddled, or is your child in, or do you just lay him on his back? How does he sleep? As far as, do you put him in a swaddle? Because if you put him in a swaddle, there is a swaddle called Love to Dream where the arms are up. Okay, my range of motion with this camera, the arms are up, but they're kind of like this. The babies naturally sleep with their arms up like this. So if your baby is sleeping and their arms up, both arms are up like this, the tendency to roll, they would have to get over this part of their arm, which is difficult for a 1-week-old to do unless they got some mighty strong core muscles and leg muscles to flip. But I have seen babies flip, and that's that Love to Dream sleep sack. It's a swaddle / sleep sack, and matter of fact, I have one. I'll post some options for sleeping, for sleep sacks. I'll post a video with options for sleep sacks when I get done. Because I have my little baby dolls and I have several different my favorites that I like for babies. So I will post them when I get done so you can see what they look like on your baby. But make sure that you get the size right for your baby, because too much, if it's too roomy, is a smothering hazard. Because if your baby wiggles and they can't move the material, and there's too much material, it can get over their face or, cause any kind of things. We don't want the child to be in danger. So make sure if you buy any type of clothing, any type of swaddle, make sure they are not too loose on your child. And when I say too loose, I'm talking you putting a newborn into 6 months clothes. They're just way too big. So make sure you don't do that when you're putting your child to sleep. Okay. I thought I saw another message. No, she is not colicky. She is all good. Okay. Well, send me a message when we get done, and I will talk to you about some things that you can do during the day to get her to go to sleep. Let's see what else. The sleep sack and the swaddle. We just talked about that. There are some swaddles that convert into sleep sacks, which is one of my favorites. It's the Love to Dream 50/50. And it comes from newborn all the way up until they're like 2 or 3 years old. So I love their products because they're very well made, and I recommend them to all of my parents because babies sleep well in them. They are very snug, so the baby feels like they are swaddled, but it allows them to hold their arms up like this because they naturally sleep with their arms up like this. It allows that natural progression to take place, and they are comfortable. Let me see. I have another question. Is there any safe sleeping for both of us while she is on me? I would not suggest falling asleep with your baby on you. There have been too many babies that have been accidentally smothered because mom rolled over, because being a new mom is very tiring, and you get what we call mom brain, and you forget things. And now I remember this before this baby came. I remember everything. Babies drain things out of you. They drain you, and you get what we call mom brain, and you think, oh, I'm just forgetting everything. I'm so forgetful. No, you're not forgetful. It's just you are tired from taking care of a newborn and staying up half the night and making sure they're alive, making sure they get fed, making sure that the bottles are done. And then they didn't sleep the whole nap time, so you have to stop what you're doing. Your life changes when you become a mom. I'm a boy mom, 3 boys. And trust me, your life changes. You get mom brain. So I would not suggest that you fall asleep with your baby on you, because if you are even in a chair, if your baby's on you and you fall asleep and your arms start to collapse, your baby's going to tumble. If you're in the bed and your baby's on you and you fall asleep and your arm starts to relax and your brain says, I'm asleep, I'm a side sleeper. So you roll over on your side and your baby's right there. You are asleep and your baby's up under here and your baby can't breathe. So my suggestion is don't do it. Find a way. They have co-sleepers that attach to the bed. Put them in the co-sleeper so she's away from you, because if you roll over, you're going to hit a bar. And when you hit that bar on that co-sleeper, you'll wake up. So you won't roll over on your baby. So, like I said, just no. There is no safe way for you to sleep that I can suggest, that I can in good conscience suggest for you to do. Let's see. We talked about that. Oh, get a monitor that you can see. I suggest, because I'm a newborn care specialist, I suggest babies go in the crib from day one. They know this is the place that I go to sleep. But I know as a mom at home by yourself, most moms are not going to put their babies away from them. They want them in the room with them. And I get that. And that's why people hire me, because I'm in the room with their baby, watching them. But get a Nanny. That's Nanit. That's my preferred baby monitor. This monitor, it will monitor the humidity in the room. It will monitor the temperature in the room. It will monitor when the baby moves. It will monitor when the baby makes a sound. It will monitor, it will tell you, my bed was attended 15 minutes ago. Someone helped me to sleep 15 minutes ago. It will tell you that I haven't been asleep for 46 minutes. It watches your baby and lets you know how long your baby is sleeping. It also will send you a weekly report so you can see where, create a pattern. Okay, every night between 2:15 and 3 o'clock, she woke up. Why? If you look at that report, and you can also record, it gives you live feed, or you can record where you can go back and look at that time of day. It also allows you to play music through the monitor. It also allows you to speak through there. If your baby's, crying or has a question, you can talk to your baby through that monitor. You can also, it has heart rate. It checks your baby. It can, if there's a certain attachment that comes to it, that tests the baby's heart rate. So you know the baby's breathing, the baby's heart rate, if your child has, heart problems. But I love this monitor. And the best part of it is, if you travel for work and dad's at home, or nanny's at home, or grandma's at home, or whoever's at your house with your baby, you can look in the monitor and see what your child's doing. They have the one it comes with a wall mount, but you can take the little box out and take it anywhere so that you can monitor it. It has an app. It's on an app, and you can just click it on anywhere in the world and watch your baby sleeping. And it will alert you. Can you set up for alerts? It will alert you what's going on in your child's room. And so if there's a noise, if they rolled over, there was movement. So aloha from Honolulu, Hawaii. How are you? Thanks for joining me. So there are that one monitor does a lot of things, and it's well worth the money spent, because I've had seven families, the last 7 or 8 families that I've worked for, asked me what monitor. So, and I suggested that. That's expensive. I said, trust me, you are going to love it. So when they bought it and they fell in love with it, they wrote me back, oh, I love this monitor. Oh, why didn't I have this in my life with my other 2 kids? I don't know, but you have it now. And it's easy to use. You can connect, if I'm not mistaken, you can connect one to another. So if you have more than one child, you can. It comes with like a duo for like twins. So just check they have several different models, but it just depends on your needs as to what model you get. But even just the basic one is worth it. I have apps. I have 3 Nanny apps on my phone from 3 different children that live in 3 different states. And mom and dad will call me and say, can you look in on them and see what's going on? And is this something I need to be worried about? So I look in on the child, and I can zoom in and see that child's little beady eyes. That's how close you can zoom in on your child and see them, every movement. and I can call and I can call them back and say that's normal. This is what they're doing. Explain to them what they're doing. That's how I do sleep training. That's how I did most of my sleep training, virtual sleep training. I did it through the Nanny during COVID. They work. I promise you, they work. Now, on to the dream feed. In the middle of the night, you do not, unless you have a brand new baby. Now, brand new babies, that's a totally different category. Yes, they need to eat every 3 hours. I mentioned that before. But once your baby starts getting to 6 to 8 weeks, a couple of months old, dream feed. A dream feed is when they wake up in the middle of the night, it's like a little snack. And before they completely come out of sleep and just get, go in with a dream feed. Couple of ounces, feed them, burp them, they'll fall back to sleep, and you put them back to bed and let them sleep the rest of the night. Don't give them more than 2 to 3 ounces, because if you do, your baby will count that as a meal time. I'm waking up so I can have an 8-ounce bottle. No. A dream feed. And it's a dream feed because it's just enough to send them back to La La Land. Not enough for them for you to sit there for an hour to make up their mind they want to drink this whole 8-ounce bottle while they sleep. Because as soon as they finish and you burp them and you put them down, they're ready to be up. Because they have sat there 30, 40 minutes in your arms eating. Whereas a dream feed, you got 10 to 15 minutes, burp, back down, you walk out, go get you some more sleep. So, dream feed, not mealtime. There's a difference. And I think one last thing, consistency. Be consistent. I know every night is not going to be the same as the night before. You have good nights, you have bad nights, but be consistent. I promise you, your consistency will pay off. And there is a window between 6 to 8 weeks. If you catch that window, your baby will be sleeping 8 to 10 hours by the time they're 3 or 4 months old. When I start with my clients, baby straight out of the hospital, come home, I start sleep conditioning on day 1. The room is dark. There's a red light. And if you don't need that red light, don't turn it on. Keep it dark. If the newborns need to be changed throughout the night, so make sure that you change their Pampers, because newborns, they poop throughout the night. They get to a certain point, about a month and a half, between 4 and 5 weeks, when they stop pooping in the middle of the night, that's when you can catch them and they will sleep longer. So, be consistent in what you're doing. Be consistent in the whines. Let the whines be self-soothed. Let the cries go attend to them. Hold on, I had a question. Should I be concerned that my son is 5 months old, still hates tummy time, and hasn't rolled over yet? Yes and no. Most babies are rolling over by the time they're 4 to 5 months old. And yes and no on the tummy time. I don't know of many babies that like tummy time, but it is a necessary ordeal. It's necessary for the child because it helps them gain strength in their neck. Instead of them their heads bobbling and falling back and doing this, because a child can give themselves whiplash. I promise you, they can. If you're not careful with their head, they're steady going like this. But tummy time helps them to build these shoulder muscles, to build these forearms, to get them ready for crawling. It helps to build the muscles around the neck, because when they push down, you see how my shoulders go up when I push down? That's the muscles that is working on, which is connected to the neck, which helps their head to stay steady instead of bobbling and wobbling. They look like a bobblehead. You don't want your child to look like a bobblehead, to be the bobblehead. So, yes, they hate tummy time. I have a video that I'm coming out with some things that you can do with tummy time. Tummy time also consists, if you have your baby laying on your chest, if you lean back and let their arms go and then lean up and they push themselves up and work themselves, yes. But you don't want to do that too much, because then they'll always want to be in your arms and they don't want to get on the floor and they don't want to have tummy time. But those times when you're burping your child, and give them an opportunity, lean back a little bit, give them an opportunity, because most of the time they don't want to lay down, so they'll push themselves up. And if they're pushing themselves up during that time you're burping, use that as a tummy time. They don't have to know that they're doing tummy time, but you know it's strengthening their necks. You know it's strengthening the muscles in here, so that they will hold their heads up. Try using a Bumble seat. Bumble seats help with the core. They also help to, if you get one with a tray, their hands, they push their hands, and see how my shoulders are going up? If they're leaning back and they're pushing with their hands, it still helps with the neck and the shoulder muscles. So tummy time may not be the favorite time, but it is a necessary time. It helps them work the leg muscles. It helps with the baby's bowel movements. If your child is constipated, tummy time is your best friend. Doing the little bicycles with their legs, leaning them back and forth. It strengthens their core. Their core muscles are important for rolling over. Dance with them, even if they're on their back. Dance with them. Make them pull their legs up. And there are exercises that you can do to help them roll over. I work with my babies starting as soon as I know their head is getting kind of steady. I start helping them hold one hand. I let them put their fingers around my finger. I give them my finger, and let them put their fingers around mine, and I help guide them. I kind of nudge them. So I'm pulling like this, and they're kind of going like this. And if you put your hand on their hip underneath their leg and let them guide and kind of gently guide them side to side, don't roll them over, just kind of guide them, because it's strengthening their muscles. Once you know that their muscles are good to go, or if they are showing signs of wanting to roll over, then you can just take their hand and kind of help guide them. They will pull your hand and pull themselves on over. I'm at the point now with a 3-month-old. She hates tummy time with a passion. Get a mirror. Put a mirror in front of your baby. So when you're on tummy time, that mirror is in front of their face like this. They can see themselves. They think it's another baby. When they start talking to the mirror and the mirror is talking back to them, they see the mouth move and the mirror is talking back to them, they kind of get curious. And it buys you more time on tummy time. So, tummy time is important. And if your child hasn't rolled over yet, if it's not a medical issue, work with your baby. Roll them from side to side. They're not going to be interested in something that if they're not trying it, and if they get to a point of complacency, or she's not going to make me do this, and guess what? Now that I'm at this point where I have some control over my body, I don't want to do it. So if you give them opportunities to roll back and forth, and show them what they're supposed to be doing, that makes a difference. And I know life is hectic and you're busy, but you need to roll with your baby. Play with your baby on tummy time. Do the bicycle exercises. Turn some music on. I turn on, one of our favorite tummy time music is A Party Like a Preschooler by Go Fish. So if you ever need some music, and it's a group of men singing like Itsy Bitsy Spider, If You're Happy and You Know It, and all these songs, but they are so catchy and bouncy. It's not the regular kids singing If You're Happy and You Know It, clap it. No. They are singing, it's like a rock and roll, jazzy, pop kind of music. They've taken the songs and kind of redone them, and I find myself singing them all the time. And they work because it gets the kids dancing. And if they're moving their hands and they're moving their legs, they're tightening their core. And those core muscles and those shoulder muscles and those leg muscles are what they're going to need to crawl, to sit up, to walk. It helps with their development. So I hope I've answered your questions. I'm going to need some tips for future. Okay, well, I will be here. Colicky babies have gas. They cry a lot. Yes, they have gas and they cry a lot. Tummy time. Again, tummy time. Tummy time helps to work the gas out. It works the core muscles. If you work those core muscles, it moves those gas bubbles, and they burp. I also have a video about burping and how to help get the gas and move those gas bubbles. So if you watch the video about burping, there's 2 methods that I like to use when burping babies. And sometimes that one burp is not all your child has in there. Sometimes it's a 2 burp, and then stop after every 2 ounces or so. Depends on how much your child is drinking. Stop after every 2 ounces. Don't let them drink the whole bottle before you burp them, because then the gas builds up, and then you got a big burp that comes up, and then that bubble is here, and there's a lot of milk between here and that bubble. It kind of slowly creeps down into the stomach, but that bubble is here, and when you burp them, if you let them drink all that milk, it's going to come up, and you're going to think your child has acid reflux, when it's actually a gas bubble in the way from keeping the milk going down. Most babies, if they feel the gas bubble and it's in pain, they will stop eating. And if you try to feed them, sometimes they'll continue eating. Depends on the baby. But most babies will stop eating. When they stop eating, burp them. How do you properly burp? Okay, so as I was saying before, I have a video. Look on my page, on my feed, there is a video about burping and the methods that I use that are most effective for me as a newborn care specialist. They're most effective for me for burping. So look at those videos. If you have any questions, feel free to PM me, to send me a private message. Let me see if I have any more questions. Because if I don't, when should you start changing from Pampers to pull-ups? Okay, I hate pull-ups. Honestly, I do. If my child is ready to potty, then I put him on underwear. I take the time, it may be a weekend, or I know one time I took off my youngest son. When he came, he was 18 months. I had a home daycare at the time. He went into his cubby, grabbed a pamper, came into the living room, pulled his pants down, took his pamper off, the wet one, laid out the new pamper, laid on top of it, and looked at me. And I'm thinking, oh, it's time for potty training. No, if you're smart enough to pull your pants down, you're smart enough to know that you're wet, you're smart enough to go get your own pamper, take your other pamper off and lay this one out on the floor, then you're smart enough to let's go get on the potty. So I took the time and I put him in underwear. We skipped the pull-ups. Because if you know you're wet in a pamper and you don't like it, then you're definitely not going to like it in underwear. And you're going to either go to that bathroom, and it took 2.5 days for him to get the hang of, if I got to pee-pee, I got to go potty. I go into the potty. Now, sometimes he didn't make it, but he was on his way there. And trust me, hardwood floors, please keep them off the carpet. But you're going to have accidents. But it teaches them, that's the quickest way to teach them to potty train. If you know that they are ready, go straight to the underwear. I hate pull-ups because I think it's a waste of money, and it's still a pamper. I will put on a nighttime pamper at night when they go to bed while they're potty training. And that takes a while for them to stop wetting the bed, wetting in their pamper overnight. So as they're potty trained, make sure I stop. Their bedtime is 7:30. We have dinner at 5:30. They have a cup of water at 6, and they may have a couple of sips right before bedtime. But I'll limit their intake of liquids in the evening, and make sure they potty. So it helps with them not wetting their pamper overnight. When they first wake up in the morning, I take them to the bathroom, and their bladder is full, and that's how they learn. Okay, I held my pee overnight. I'm going to the potty this morning. First thing I do is I go to the potty. Because if you don't, they're going to flood that pamper. So, I'm not sure if I answered your question, but I would suggest, if they're ready for a pull-up, if they're ready to go potty, then take them straight to the potty. And just take a couple of days, a weekend, and just potty train in underwear. And make sure you have plenty of underwear. Let's see. What else? I think I got everybody. And I think I've been on here, for over an hour. So, how many kids do I personally have? I have 3 grown sons. They range from 30 to 34. They're like stair steps, like almost 2 years apart. Each one of them, almost 2 years apart. So I have 3 grown sons, and I'm a grandma. And they call me Nana. So I am a Nana and not a grandma. I like Nana better than grandma. So that's how many I personally have. Now, how many children, how many godchildren do I have? And how many children have adopted me? How many parents have adopted me as their kids' grandma? I have plenty of those. I have a whole plethora of those. And I am also temporarily guardian of about 12 children. So technically, they're mine too. But personally, 3. So I hope you all have enjoyed today. I have another comment. Okay, hold on, let me see. Oh, never mind. So I hope you all have enjoyed today. I will replay this video again soon for those who missed it, because I know not everybody gets off work in the middle of the day like I do. So if you missed it, I'll hit the replay button so that you can come back and watch it again later. If you enjoyed this video, or if you have found this video informative, please follow and like and share this video, and follow and like and share the videos that I have on my personal page. And I'm going to go and get the video that I promised of the swaddles for your babies. So I'll be looking for that in a couple of hours. I think I have like 5 or 6 swaddles. And I will also demonstrate While I'm doing the swaddles, I will also demonstrate just the regular blanket swaddle. Some people prefer the blanket, just wrap them up like a little burrito. But I also have some swaddles that you just zip up and down, which makes it easier for pamper changing in the middle of the night. So I believe in making it simpler. That's why I leave tips to make life simpler for you, to make being a mom not so hard, because it can be a hard thing. But I don't want you to not enjoy this growth of your child because you're busy worried about a bottle or a swaddle or sleep or the Pampers not wrong, or which diaper cream do I use? This one's not working or that one's not working. I want to give you all the little tips and tricks that they don't teach you at the hospital. And they may be small. And if you see something that you already know, but you know somebody else doesn't know, please share it so that somebody else will, some other mom who does not know that, a first-time mom who does not know that already, or you think even if they know it already, they may not know how to do it. Well, I knew what they said, but I don't know how to do it. There's a difference in knowing something than actually being able to do it. So that's why I create the videos. Anyway, I will see you all next week, probably same time next week. I might come back on later this week, depends on if I have time in my schedule. I might come back on and share some more tips, and just have an open forum where I'll answer questions, whatever you want to talk about. So I will see you all next week. Thank you for joining me. Please follow and share. See you next time.